Starting. All right, we're on the air. Hey guys, Taker Soul Girl here. And despite what happened at WrestleMania, which we'll get into, I'm still that, and I'm joined by
You go.
Christina Angel, what's up, y'all?
And of course, stereotypically sitting here in suburban England, drinking a cup of tea, is me, Tom Williams, 1990.
Hey, we're both drinking cups of tea.
It's more of a stereotypical gag because I'm in England and I'm dying of a cold and I'm.
Yeah. All right, we are going to start. I guess we'll get started because, well, I have to explain something. I'm in a new apartment with my mom, double yay.
Yeah.
And I had to move over WrestleMania weekend. I had 36 hours to do it, and we did it somehow.
Who?
So I spent my WrestleMania weekend getting ready to move. Boo.
One of my friends is he's probably back in England now, but he went to WrestleMania, and I hate him for it. And I hate him for it. because he not only did he go to WrestleMania, which is something I've always wanted to do, but potentially, as we know, it was an important match.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Let's not rush it.
Let's start with the pre-show.
All right.
Let's start with the pre-show. The opener of the pre-show was
I'll do it. Hey, dude, I'm the host here. Remember? There was three matches on the pre-show. Shut up. There was 3 matches on the pre-show, and it started with the Cruiserweight Championship, Neville versus Austin Aries. And Neville won. Deanna was right with that one.
Yep.
Because she picked Neville.
I don't know why. It's just like when it comes to Neville's matches, I never bet against him because I usually think that Neville comes in with like a really strong aggression.
Neville as the champion makes a lot of sense because it's traditional wrestling booking. The babyface, which in this case is Aries, is chasing after the heel, the unassailable heel. So this is like sort of 1980s territory wrestling booking, and it's lovely to see.
Yeah. So Deanna got 1 point on that one.
And if you guys forget, we're keeping score of who got how many right.
Right. We always do that. It's just a fun thing that we do. It's not.
I usually win, so
Yeah.
Not usually.
Always.
Alright, so we had that. And then none of us predicted this. Mojo Rawley won the 4th annual Under the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
I picked Cruz.
I picked Strowman or Big Show.
I had Strowman, but every year for WrestleMania, I always go to a bookmaker's and I put my bets on. And as a side bet, I put Mojo Rawley to win the Battle Royal. And when I showed people that I'd done that, a lot of people were like, "Are you a psychic or something? How did you predict that absolute job-tastic guy to win the Battle Royal?" Well, WWE about a week or so before WrestleMania, they had videos on their YouTube channel of certain wrestlers preparing for their matches. One of them was Seth Rollins. One of them was Triple H.
Yeah.
One of them was Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And the other one, oddly, was Mojo Sodding Rawley.
Oh, that's weird.
Of all the people to have a video, and all it was just Mojo Rawley in the gym, but the video title was Mojo Rawley prepares for Andre the Giant Battle Royal. And I'm thinking, of all the people to go, look, this guy's getting ready for the Battle Royal, as Diana said off air, she didn't know he was in it. So,
I didn't know.
He announced it on SmackDown.
Of all the people to draw attention to, they drew attention to Mojo Rawley. To go about how he won it, his friend Rob Gronkowski, who it doesn't mean much to me because he's an American footballer.
He's NFL New England Patriots.
Oh dear God, in heaven above.
And Jinder Mahal got in his face.
And he jumped the barricade.
And he jumped the barricade, went in the ring, and football tackled him.
Did anybody notice the one female security guard who clearly wasn't in the loop that Rob Gronkowski was supposed to be able to get in the ring and tried to stop him?
Yeah, I noticed that.
And he just sort of went round her because the referees rushed him at the same time were like, ignore her, she doesn't know.
Yeah.
Play to her. Her job is to keep the fans from jumping the barricade. She did her job. They should have probably clued her in a little bit.
She was probably new, and she probably didn't know that.
I don't think they clued her in. And that's a mistake on WWE's end. Nobody else's. They should have clued her in.
When Stephen Amell went up against Stardust, they weren't exactly sure they wanted him to get in the ring, even though he was there, and they actually had to clear it with his agent and the CW before he actually got in the ring.
Yeah, they have to do that. Okay.
Well, I'm surprised that Gronkowski was allowed to do anything because NFL contracts are usually pretty, no activity,
He probably had to get approval from them to do it.
WWE probably bung the New England Patriots a pile of money.
No, not really, because in the off-season, football players are free to do whatever they want as long as they don't do anything illegal.
Ah, okay.
I'm sure there's a thing in the contract about ridiculous physical activity.
Nope.
No, they can do whatever they want as long as
they're free to do during the off season. They're free to do whatever they want as long as they don't get arrested.
Fair enough. Okay.
All right.
The next match, Robin, go ahead.
Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin for the Intercontinental title. Tom, you were wrong.
I was, yeah.
Yep.
And Deanna, we were right.
Yep.
I've got a slight bug. I've got a slight bug in my bed about the Intercontinental Championship being on the pre-show, but that's there's so many matches, so many titles, and only 7 hours of WrestleMania. You know.
I kind of was like, when Robin had me look at the video that Dean did where they were interviewing both Dean and Corbin, I was kind of laughing at it because Corbin was in this mindset of, oh, well, I'm just going to come in and I'm going to beat the hell out of you and I'm just going to walk all over you like I did Dolph Ziggler. And then I'm like sitting there going, dude, first of all, you've never been one-on-one hand combat with Dean Ambrose. Number two, you don't know what the hell this guy is capable of because he can pull anything out of thin air and make it look good.
My only reason behind picking Corbin was because I wanted to see Ambrose ascend to better things.
And then you have that scary situation where sometimes, and it really does scare me when he does this because it freaks me out sometimes, where he has this weird Taker moment, and I'm looking like, okay, did he have to go that route?
What?
He has this, Dean has this weird, you know how sometimes he'll be in the ring and he'll just lay there?
Mm-hmm.
He'll just lay there like he's out.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden he'll just sit up.
That's playing possum though. A lot of wrestlers do it.
And yeah, but the way Dean does it is almost like the way Taker does it.
Oh well, I suppose you can see the you can see that. I can't imagine it's anything but this is a cool thing that a wrestler I really admire does. You know, I'm going to adapt it for my own use.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
A lot of guys do it. A lot of guys do it.
But it's cool though.
It is, yeah. There was another match on the pre-show, wasn't there?
Mm-mm.
No, that was it. Yeah. We're on to the main card, and here's me thinking
I think the reason that the Intercontinental title was on the pre-show is because they put both the women's titles
Yeah,
on the.
it was originally going to be the SmackDown Women's, which was a bit shit because I think WWE on one hand is all about this Divas Revolution. Look how hang on, sorry, I need to bite my tongue off for that. I called them divas. That's disrespectful and poor. That's poor taste of me. This Women's Revolution. Divas, if you think back to the origin of the word diva, is not a good word to call women.
No.
Really. So the SmackDown Women's Championship match, I think WWE talks about this Women's Revolution, and then they're like, well, obviously the Raw women are more important. We'll put
that's not fair.
We'll put the SmackDown women on the pre-show. That's not really cool.
And then the thing about it is, though, was the SmackDown Women's Championship was the, what do they call it? The one that comes before the main event, the semi-main event.
Semi-main, yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll
so that was cool.
Which was cool.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that because I've got a few problems with that match, but we'll get to that. I was expecting for the opener, the Raw tag team, because they usually open with some sort of ridiculous spot fest, and you've got a ladder match for that. But obviously, with what happened in that match, they didn't go with that. Instead, they opened with Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles.
Yep, and Deanna, we were wrong on that one.
Okay, someone has got to explain to me what in the hell was in Styles' mindset, because Shane, obviously, I mean, he was probably still a little bit more careful than he was last year, because everybody knows last year he elbow dropped off the top of the cage, landed on the table.
Death. No, he did not land on the table.
Well, landed on the table. Landed through the table, I should say. But what is Styles going up against the Boss is one thing, because this was like, Stone Cold or Shawn Michaels going up against Vince in the 90s. But the thing that bothered me, because I went back and read the match and watched a little bit of the video, was that there was something in in AJ's eyes that said, "Look, if I can beat Shane O'Mac, I might can get a higher niche in this company."
No, I don't think it was a good.
No, I don't. What it was this was obviously it was AJ Styles being given. Let's be honest, AJ Styles is on such a level of wrestler that you could put AJ Styles in the ring with me and he'd make me look like a good wrestler.
Yeah, dude, you gotta let me introduce these matches. By the way, I'm the host here.
AJ could have a good match with a dead body.
Yeah.
He's that level of wrestler. He is arguably the best wrestler in the world today.
Today.
Second best wrestler in the world.
He's arguably the best wrestler in the world.
Second best wrestler in the world.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's why Tom said arguably.
Yeah. To me,
because not everybody would think that.
I'm not talking character wise. I just mean in terms of pure wrestling skill. Him today is what Bret Hart was in the early 90s.
Yeah. Deanna.
And
I was like, are you still there? What the hell?
He had.
I never compare anybody to Bret except for Tyson, and that's the only person I really compare to Bret.
And going into a match with let's be honest, Shane. He's good. He's as good as he is. He's always going to be a non-wrestler who can do reasonable matches. And they had a good match. It was a good opener. And the right guy won because I don't see any value in AJ Styles, this wrestler who could, if WWE wanted to book him that way, could be the top babyface in the company because the fans love him, the fans like him.
Yeah,
he could be the top guy in the company. I see no value in the potential top guy in the company losing to a guy who has one or two matches a year and can't really wrestle.
Okay,
properly.
but you're talking about, but to talk about Shane, you're talking about a guy who has WWE running through the bloodline all the way back. You're talking about a guy who has had some incredibly crazy matches with different wrestlers in the ring back in the 90s. And you're also talking about the guy that just last year stood toe to toe with the Phenom in a Hell in a Cell match and literally could have killed himself with doing what he did. And yet, not taking anything away from AJ, but putting it like this, if Shane had been given a more, let's say, a more complex match, like a DQ or 3-Stage of Hell or something like that, AJ Styles could not have withstood any of those type of matches, but Shane McMahon can prove that he can withstand a more competitive match by last year, by all the effort and the amazing show that people still talk about him putting on with Taker last year.
Yeah, obviously.
But it was a traditional wrestling match, so.
Yeah.
What people who
I think it should have been more of a. I think it should have had a little bit more of a competitive edge, because Shane would have been able to show everybody, hey, look what I did last year compared to what I'm doing this year. Because there could have been so many different ways they could have booked this. There could have been a street fight, which I don't think AJ Styles could have won anyway. I really don't think he could win a last man standing match. I seriously believe that this match should have been a little bit more of a competitive edge, but I understand that this WrestleMania wasn't about, that this match wasn't about competitiveness. It was about it was just like back in the old days with Vince. It was just like about an employee trying to show everybody that he could be his boss. That's all it was.
It probably would have had more to it if it had a quote unquote hardcore stipulation, but there were so many matches on the card that had things like that. The main event was no disqualification. Yeah. Triple H and Seth Rollins effectively had a hardcore match.
Yeah.
You know, wasn't the ladder match? Yeah, wasn't Ambrose and Corbin no disqualification?
No, that was a normal one.
No, that was normal. That was normal.
There were several quote unquote hardcore matches on the card, so this one didn't need it. And what it got to show you was, and if you've watched SmackDown since, Shane and AJ shook hands.
Yeah.
And I think that's AJ's babyface turn starting.
Yeah. Okay. What?
Never mind.
What was up next?
Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho for the United States Championship.
Okay, Robin, what was that you and I were talking about the other day when you said that it was kind of... Did you say it was kind of weird that two Canadians were competing for a U.S. title?
Yeah. And Dana, we were wrong.
I know. Kevin Owens won. I kind of figured I was going to be wrong, because I did know that I did see a picture of Jericho a couple of hours before Mania started, and he had what looked to be a really bad sprained ankle.
Yeah. Okay,
and I also knew that he is fixing to leave to go back on tour with Fozzy, so I kind of expected that. I didn't expect Jericho to win on account of the injury and account of the fact that he was fixing to leave and he wasn't going to be around to, really defend the title. So, not really big loss on that one.
I'm checking this out here. So, Deanna's got 1. And 2 and 3. And, yeah, you have 3. I have 2. Tom has a lot.
Yeah, but
this match, if it's my turn to jump in on it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Obviously Jericho is going. Jericho's off, and on Raw probably on Raw the night after we probably saw him being written off, didn't we? Where where Owens and Joe beat him like an unwanted stepchild.
Yeah.
So he's he's probably gone now. So what you've so it was a good move to keep the belt on Owens, because
No, to
Owens
put the belt on Owens, not keep it.
or to put the belt on Owens, because Owens is going into this, well, allegedly is going into this Triple H stable
Ugh.
with
Another
Samoa.
fucking like we need another one of those fucking things.
There's
Well,
there's been a lot of speculation about that too.
And I think I think it's the right move. Jericho is one of those guys who is of that age that his thing now is to put over young guys.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Well, I
no
mean,
need.
he did when AJ Styles did come into the company, he was approached to sort of give, even though AJ Styles didn't really need it, he was approached to give AJ Styles sort of that, you know,
Give him a bit of a boost.
bring into the company kind of thing.
Yeah.
Jericho's good enough on that level, and Owens needed the win. You know, Owens really needed legitimizing after that 6.5 second match with Goldberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, at the previous pay-per-view, getting absolutely steamrolled by a 50-year-old man does not do your credibility much good.
No.
Actually,
Owens-
it kind of makes. Honestly, if you think about it, if you're getting steamrolled by a 50-year-old man, you're basically in the position of a jobber.
Yeah.
And like, you know,
Owens' career can't stand from going from holding a championship to dropping down that quick to a jobber.
Yeah.
Because if you drop that quick, then they might as well just come to you and say, "Look, you had a good run, but
Yeah.
good luck in your future endeavors because you're out."
And this was a good way. This was a good way to bring him back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What he needs now is to go is his next few key matches. He needs to win them and win them decisively.
Yeah.
As cool as the Universal Championship match was, I don't think it was worth damaging Kevin Owens the way they did.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Not really.
And I think
But I can understand them wanting to give Goldberg a good,
One last little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give him a title.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
like 20 years.
It could have been more of a match, but either way, Owens picking up the US title. I expect him to hang on to that United States title at least SummerSlam, if not the rest of the year. Honestly.
Yeah. Okay. Bailey versus Charlotte versus Sasha versus Nia. I was kind of right because I said Bailey or Sasha.
I think we both said, Robin, actually, you and I both said Bailey or Sasha.
Yeah, Bailey ended up winning it. I think Tom was wrong.
Yeah.
I'm sure I said Bailey.
Was.
No, he said Sasha turning
You
heel.
said Sasha.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
This is one of those matches where I'm kind of like, I was wondering if this was more about, well, Bailey and Sasha excluded, but I was wondering if this match was more about ego between Charlotte and Nia Jax rather than it being about who really deserved the title, because Charlotte has been going around, and yes, I have the Best of Raw 2016, and I was watching it the other night, and I was talking with the hubby, because he absolutely despises Charlotte. He thinks she's a prippy princess, which I do too, in the ring anyway. But it's just that Bailey and Charlotte have put up so much of a fight to get where they are, and I feel like to a point, Charlotte and Nia Jax, and Nia Jax is The Rock's cousin. I'm just gonna put it out there because that's
And Romans.
And I just think that when you look at it from that point of view, Charlotte and Nia Jax, this was about their egos. This was about who had the bigger ego, who was going to go around saying, "I'm the queen and you're the peasant." Whereas when it comes to Bailey and Sasha, it's just like, if I win the title, I'm grateful for winning the title. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not going to go around with my nose up in the air, snooting and pouting to everybody. I'm going to be grateful
question.
that I won the title.
Did this costume remind anybody else of Macho Man Randy Savage, or was it just me?
It did. But I've also noticed that Bailey kind of has that turn between Warrior and Macho Man, and then when you look at Sasha, you've got Eddie Guerrero. Sort of interlinked in there. So, I mean, and yeah, Charlotte did look like a gigantic green peacock, which made me want to puke.
It was the ugliest color you could have picked for that.
Yeah, that is the grossest color you could pick for a peacock. But the thing about it is that this match was about two different types of women. You had two women with egos that are so high up in the sky, their noses are so high up, they'll be the first to know when it rains. And then you had two women who had nothing to do with ego, but had a passion for wanting to win this title and for putting everything that they had on the line to win this title.
For Bailey, I think it was, I'm going to prove to everybody that I belong here.
Yeah,
I'm going to shut everybody up that says that I don't belong here.
That's exactly like Sasha. That's what I'm saying. Bailey and Sasha are having to prove that they belong in the company, and meanwhile, you've got egotistical 1 over here, egotistical 2 over here, and the only thing that they want to do is go around with their noses up in the air so high, saying, "Oh, I've got blood, I've got WWE running through my vein, I've got WWE running through my veins." What does that really matter when it comes down to a title? What does blood have anything to do with it? Blood is not. I mean, yes, blood in WWE is considered important, but
blood's not going to win you a title. You got to step in there and
in this situation, like I said, you had blood versus passion, and in this case, passion won out.
Yeah, Tom, what do you think?
The right person won. It's keeping the belt on Bailey is good. However, I would have. I mean, I don't know. I probably would have gone with some form of heel turn because there aren't many heels on Raw, really.
Yeah.
And from what the rumors that are apparently out about what's potentially going to be happening next week when they do the shake-up. There's heavy rumors that Charlotte and Becky Lynch will be swapping brands.
Oh, cool.
Which sticks another babyface.
Not really sure that's a good idea, but whatever they want to do.
Which sticks another babyface in the Raw fire, which then leaves Nia Jax as like the only heel. And that's why that's where I think a more heel Sasha Banks could come in, but it could still happen.
Then Natty over there. Natty's a heel.
Yeah, Natty could be over there.
You know, so
all right.
Natty needs more of a spotlight anyway.
Yeah, great spot was the three Bailey, Banks, and Charlotte working together to get rid of Nia.
It looked like a shield.
That was a really cool thing.
It looked like a shield powerbomb. I was like,
and all three of them getting on top. That was really cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Give it that. They definitely, the three of them working together to get rid of the quote-unquote
biggest threat.
You know.
Yeah, but it's also it's the three of them working together to get rid of the woman who's built like an army tank. You know. Nia Jax could throw all three of them around. You know, it'd be like if three skinny blokes went into the ring with Brock Lesnar. You know.
She is somewhere in the Anoa'i family wrestling
family.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. The next one, it was supposed to be a triple threat, and then
turned into a fatal four-way.
It turned into a fatal four-way because the Hardy Boys are back, and they won.
So awesome.
And we all got this wrong because nobody saw that coming.
Okay, I'm going to defend myself. I said on the predictions that there was a rumor that Matt and Jeff had signed back with the company.
Yeah, it turns out you're right. But the thing,
And I was right because, and I said I had a feeling that something was going on because I saw a picture of Matt with Jerry and JR.
Yeah.
Friday afternoon, right before the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I actually told a friend of mine, I said, I got a feeling something's going to happen at Mania that's going to turn everybody and make them go, what that double H? And everybody was like, no, nothing's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, here come the Hardy Boys, and everybody's like, oh my God.
Yeah,
the reaction was amazing.
I was like talking to you. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And you're like, what? And I'm like, Hardy Boys, Hardy Boys, Hardy Boys. And you're like, you're kidding me. And I'm like, no.
I didn't actually think that they would actually come back this quick because they had just got out of the TNA contract. But I think what happened was when they were doing the whole over on TNA, when they were doing the whole Broken Hardy thing, relates back to what Matt did when he was trying to get out of his WWE contract. I was told from what not from what I was told, but from what I read, Matt and Jeff was trying to get out of the contract to come because he'd already been back in talks with what's his name, Pat Patterson, about coming back. And I think Pat was talking to, while Jeff was talking to Pat, Art Anderson was talking to Matt about coming back. And so they had to pull some kind of crazy wackadoo situation to get them out of their TNA contract in order to get back into WWE.
Yeah, my mom was like,
their TNA contracts expired. What's more interesting is they were the ROH champions, the ROH Tag Team Champions on Saturday. They lost the titles to the Young Bucks on Saturday night in a ladder match.
Oh, yeah. And then they had to come in and compete.
So they had 2 ladder matches in 24 hours.
Yeah, but you're talking about 2 guys that, along with Edge and Christian.
Two absolute nutters.
The thing is, like, they came out, my mom's like, who? I remember those guys, or I kind of remember those guys, but refresh my memory. I'm like, you remember TLC with Edge and Christian and the Dudley Boys? And she goes, oh, yeah.
It was very cool to see Jeff and Matt back in their element. It was really cool to see them back and doing what they do best instead of being forced to do whatever the hell they were doing in TNA. But it was very cool to see
the Broken Hardys the Broken Hardys is a very good gimmick though.
Well, it's a very weird gimmick, but I think even though we did get it wrong because we did not see the Fatal 4-Way coming, I still think that at the end of the day you had an amazing, because WrestleMania is known for its surprise pullouts. Because wasn't it last year, the year before last, that the Dudley Boys came back? For a brief period, but it's still a very awesome thing to see 2 guys who basically sort of led the industry in ladder matches and TLC matches, along with
help build the Dudleys,
to come back and win.
Hey, you're not giving the Dudley Boys any credit here.
Oh,
they were there too.
Sorry, guys. Because the last time we saw Matt and Jeff at a WrestleMania was what, 25?
Yeah, and they were facing each other.
Yeah, and they were doing the brother versus brother thing. And by the way, Robin, who the hell won that match?
The Hardys.
Matt did.
Oh, Matt. Okay, I can't remember. That's been a long time ago.
No, she's talking about Mania 25, Tom.
Yeah, WrestleMania 25. Right. They were doing because that match kind of got crazy, and that's when because right after that was when Matt had a match, or not Matt, Jeff had a match with CM Punk, and there was a deal made that if Jeff lost, he couldn't come back to WWE.
Yeah, that was September of that year.
Yeah, and Punk made it where he couldn't come back because Punk was trying to turn Jeff straight edge, and well, now that Punk's gone, Jeff came back, so I can just say it. Thank God CM Punk walked out when he did. Because now we got Jeff back.
And yeah,
Not that I'm not happy to see Matt, but I'd rather be glad that Jeff's back rather than Matt.
Yeah. Okay. So, Tom, do you have anything to say?
A nice little wrinkle was that the New Day came out onto the stage in their gear, so it looked like they were going to be the fourth team.
I was like, what?
It looked like they were going to be the fourth team.
I kind of see that. I was like, wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. They're hosting. Why the hell are they in their gear?
Yeah, and then it was like, do. It's like, ah!
Yeah. The fact that, and obviously the fans exploded.
Oh yeah.
Interestingly, Matt had some of his broken Matt Hardy stuff going on.
Yeah, he had his hair.
He had the streak in the hair, but he had his hair down as opposed to the big sort of afro that he does when he's in full broken Matt, and he wasn't wearing the robes that he wears.
I prefer him like that. Looks more normal.
And Jeff was as close to the original Jeff Hardy as you can get.
Jeff was in what I call his Skittles up. Jeff. Yeah. That's why
he didn't even have the paint. Jeff didn't even have his face paint, which was weird.
No, I like him more than his Skittles persona that I call him.
The reason we call him Skittles is because he changes his hair color so damn much.
That's the reason I used to call him Skittles.
I would have quite liked to see Jeff.
Always be Skittles.
Would have quite liked to see Jeff in his paint, to be honest, but you know,
maybe he didn't have time to put it on.
Yeah,
but that's my theory as to why the match was pushed later in the night, there to sneak the Hardys in.
Yeah,
sneak them in. All right, so the next one, John Cena and Nikki Bella versus the Miz and Maurice. Okay, I called it, and 2. They're engaged now, so Tom called that.
Yep. We did it.
So congratulations to Nikki and John.
Yes.
And that was an awesome WrestleMania. That was an awesome WrestleMania moment.
And as I was telling these two guys last night, I got a phone call from my uncle wondering if I was upset about it. I said no. I said congratulations to them. I'm happy for them. And may they live long and prosper and maybe have kids. I don't know. Don't really care. Better her than me. I'll put it that way.
Well, they're both taking some time off after WrestleMania, so maybe there'll be 2 pregnant Bellas before long.
Well, Bree's only got 2 weeks left, so
Bree's only got a couple of weeks, so
yeah,
you know.
She's only got 2.
That's why we're not seeing Daniel. That's why we're not seeing Daniel right now.
Yeah, because she had it on. Bree had it on her YouTube yesterday that she thinks maybe, I believe the baby's name is going to be Birdie, will come early.
Yeah.
But anyway, did anybody find I'm just asking this because I didn't actually get to see the match. Did anybody find a wrinkle in the match that was sort of odd? Or was it for one of those matches that went off flawlessly?
Maurice didn't even wrestle. She spent her time running around the ring and slapping people. Like running around the ring, pulling Nikki off the apron, slapping people. She didn't actually...
Fine. That's absolutely fine, though, because Maurice was never a particularly flawless worker, so...
she never was good in the ring anywhere.
No, she wasn't too bad. Compared to some people, she wasn't...
Well, compared to a certain redheaded wannabe.
Yeah, compare her to Eva Marie, and she looks awesome.
Yeah, compared to someone like that, but I mean, like, you couldn't put Maurice in the ring with a Becky Lynch and expect her to do much.
Oh, hold on.
She's gonna have to, if she wants to start wrestling as like a actual wrestler.
I can't see her being in a ring.
I can't see that happening, but if she does, she's gonna have to go and
she's gonna have to go back to NXT and do some major training.
Yeah.
All she's good for is distraction.
Yeah.
But that's fine. She's good in a valet role, and that's fine. She adds an extra level to the Mrs. character, and that's what she's there for. So
yeah. All right. So the next one, I think we were all right on this one because Seth Rollins defeated Triple H. After poor Stephanie went through a table. Yeah.
We weren't really too worried about this one because I think we all say Seth?
Yeah, we did because we said there was
said that there was no real reason for Hunter to win this. The only question I have, and Robin brought this to my attention, why in the name of the Undertaker did Hunter have to come out on that freaking motorcycle?
Well, at least we know where Taker's bike is.
First of all, that's not a motorcycle. That's not an actual motorcycle.
What was that then?
A
tri.
Yeah, it was a tri.
That's not an actual motorcycle.
Well, no, not technically.
But police escort and everything. What the?
I thought that was really cool.
Hello, over the top. How are you doing?
I will say that Stephanie did look amazing. Robin, I agree. Stephanie
looks
awesome.
Oh yeah, she looked like a biker.
She knows how to pull that off. She looked awesome last year.
Yep.
Yeah,
Stephanie always looks awesome.
Yeah.
But the thing that really got me about this match is that there was no rules. It was unsanctioned, which in WWE is not very common because there has to be some kind of sanctuanity to any match. But the only thing that concerned me about this match was the fact that there was a possibility, there was a high point of a possibility that if Hunter had have won this match, and I say had have won, what would that have done as far as meaning where did he stand in the company?
What do you mean?
Because, okay, you remember how he was...
Wait, didn't he get in trouble with the board of directors a few years ago?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's gotten in trouble numerous times with the board of directors about being in the ring when he's supposed to be in the office.
Yeah,
and he's had trouble with the stockholders in that same process. And there again, just like last year, the board of directors thing came up again. It came up again this year. And this year, they told him specifically, they said, if you get in the ring again this year at WrestleMania, we will determine that you are not an executive employee. You are a superstar. And therefore, you will be put in the back and you will be put on the cards. You will travel, you will perform, and you will be in matches. And the thing about it is that I've heard that he went to Vince and he was like, they can't do this to me. I'm da-da-da-da-da. And Vince said, well, you're the one that decided to book yourself in a match. You're the one that's decided to put yourself out in the ring. You have to make that choice. Either you lose this match and you get back where you're supposed to be, or you win this match and you go back to the locker room.
Yeah.
You got one or two. You've only got two choices. And they told him that last year when he faced Roman, they told him the exact same thing. They said, you've either got office or locker room.
You can't have both.
And he's drawing a fine line between office and locker room. And I think if he does this one more time, if he does one more match, then the board of directors is automatically going to say, you're not an executive anymore. Get your ass back in the locker room where you belong, and you stay there until you can until you decide what you want to do. Because he never officially retired from the ring.
Yeah.
That's his problem. He's never officially retired from the ring. But he now has a choice. It is either from now on he stays in the office where he belongs. He does not go ringside. He does not have a storyline. He does not get involved with action. Or he stays in the locker room. He becomes a storyline. He becomes on the card. And he becomes back to being Triple H, the superstar, not Paul Leviticus, the executive, whatever.
Paul Levesque. Would you pronounce it properly, please? I'm
the executive, whatever. So he has to make the decision. Is he Paul or is he Triple H? That's the decision he has to make. And I honestly think that, and honestly, I don't know about everybody else, but I know for me personally, I'm getting sick of this going between Paul and Triple H, Paul and Triple H, Paul and Triple H. I'm getting sick of it.
Yeah,
make a decision.
Figure out which one you are.
Figure out who you're going to be in the company and stay in one spot. Don't be going back and forth between the locker room and the office. If you're going to be an executive, stay where you're supposed to stay. If you're going to be in the locker room, get your ass on a plane, get your ass in a rental car, get your ass in a hotel room. And perform every week. If that's who you're going to be. Yeah. Other than that, stay in the office and do what you're going to do.
That's funny because I like him having one match a year.
I don't.
I think because
he's supposed to be running things, not wrestling.
He's supposed to be scouting new talent. He's supposed to be going out there and doing these open auditions, holding these auditions, going to Ring of Honor, going to Pro Japan, going to these places looking for new talent, and he hasn't done it.
There's other guys who do that job. Canyon Seaman does that job.
Yeah, but Hunter has the final say.
Look, he either needs to fucking put on a pair of tights and wrestle night in, night out like everybody else does, or put on a fucking suit and get in the office.
And I don't mean to bring, and I'm just going to say this because, Tom, I don't know if you guys heard it over there, but they just arrested a guy that he gave an open audition to for child porn. Bad boy Rod Riley.
They can't control what people do outside of the ring.
Well, no, but still, if he'd have been doing his job, the guy would have never got an open audition.
They would have caught that before.
Yeah, before he even had an open audition with WWE.
I don't think you can blame Triple H for that. I really don't. He has one match a year, and he does his executive job the rest of the year.
The board of directors is not happy with him. That's the point here.
Neither are the investors.
We'll see if he suddenly disappears off TV. I sincerely doubt it, but
he nearly got his mother-in-law in trouble with the United States Senate
because he was not welcome there, and he
showed up anyway.
All right, we got to move on before we get ranty.
Yeah.
All right. Randy Orton defeats Bray Wyatt to win the WWE Championship. We were right on this.
Not cool with that.
You called Randy Orton.
I know I did, but it doesn't mean I like it.
Okay. I'm defending again. Randy Orton is one of the most underrated guys in the company. Okay? This is a guy that should already be tied with Cena. I'm sorry to say it, but it's the truth. Randy Orton put on one of the best, he had the best storyline with Bray Wyatt that he's had in years. Going way back to the McMahon thing. That was one of the best storylines he's had in almost 10 years. And
it's still going.
Yeah, and it's still going. Because it's such a strong storyline. They don't give Randy Orton these strong storylines. They give him these weak-ass storylines that give him nothing. And here he is, finally, after almost, 3 or 4 years?
2 other storylines besides this one I can think of that, for Randy, that have been good. The one with the McMahons, and the one he did with Taker.
Yeah, actually, there's a third one. What? The one he did with Barrett.
Yeah.
Yeah. Randy does not get Randy gets these pathetic little bitty storylines that have nothing, that cannot equip him for his talent. And here he is, he gets a storyline that he's able to run with, that he can do, that's presumptuous to his character, because you've got the Viper can do anything. Randy's known for his mind games. I mean, hell, he learned it from Taker.
And Bray Wyatt. My thing about Bray Wyatt is, well, now we're stuck with a cheap knockoff, basically.
Well, yeah, I mean, basically we are stuck with a very Charles Manson knockoff. Is basically what we're stuck with.
Knockoff of something else, because I'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Anything, Tom? Is there anything you want to say about this? I liked it.
I did too.
Although
It was
The
a
bugs
cool,
in the
it was a
that's
cool
insane.
it was a cool match with the effects on the ring, but
That's fucking
I
nasty.
Ugh.
but I'm a big proponent of putting the young guys over.
At
Yeah,
least
I
we
know.
didn't get stuck with a bloody corpse in the middle of the ring. Ugh.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. Brock Lesnar defeats Goldberg to win the Universal Championship. Deanna, you didn't predict on this one because
No, I did not because I did not
you don't
call
know
this one.
Goldberg and you don't like Lesnar.
No.
I've got it wrong. Tom got it right.
Well, I didn't call it because I didn't know Goldberg.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know Goldberg. But I'll say this from
And
the
you don't like Lesnar.
no, I don't like it at all. But what I saw from the videos, it looked like this was a really tough match.
It
for
was
both men.
it was a short match.
It was a tough match for Lesnar though. He kept getting speared. But
It looked like it was kind of a tough deal because I don't know I think Goldberg's bigger than Lesnar height wise. But
Yeah.
I think it was just tough on I think it was more tough on Lesnar because finally there was somebody that could literally handle him and he got manhandled and he actually had to work.
And he didn't know what to do with it.
No, he did not know what to do with it. And he actually had to work and he actually had to think about what he was doing as compared to what he usually does with somebody, which is like 15 F5s and then it's over. But
Actually,
with
15
Goldberg,
suplexes
he had to
and 3
work.
F5s. Yeah.
Yeah. He had to work his butt off to figure out how to win this match. And honestly, if you're gonna, I think it's a storyline that could keep going because I could see
No,
those
it's not
two.
it's not gonna keep going because Goldberg left.
Goldberg
again?
all but retired on Raw.
Well, he is 50-something years old. Which I can understand.
It was one of the better matches on the night because it was short as it needed to be, and both men looked
Yeah.
absolutely devastating. The right guy won because Goldberg's done now,
Yeah.
and the build.
I'm just dreading the constant Paul Heyman, promos. But I do have one question, and this goes back to when he was WWE champion. Is he actually going to defend the title this time, or is he going to go home and sit with the title like he did before?
Well,
No, what it is he's a farmer.
He's a farmer.
Lesnar's a farmer, so there's certain times of the year that he has to be at home.
Yeah.
So it's not, and he's got to make money for the farm somehow.
The build has started for Lesnar versus Reigns for the title next year. So it's it's highly likely Lesnar's going to have the title for a year.
Wait a minute. Hold on here. Steroid Boy works the farm.
Yes, he works a farm up here in Canada, actually.
Yep.
At West.
And the entire state of Texas just went, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why is the entire state of Texas upset with Brock Lesnar owning a farm?
And the thing,
we're just going like, what the fuck? Because we didn't expect that.
And I'm surprised he was actually at WrestleMania because it's birthing season on the farm right now.
No.
My mom grew up on a farm for like 13 years, so she knows these things.
my uncle has a ranch, so yeah, that's why I'm going like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but
because
that's why you don't.
That's
why you don't see Lesnar at certain chunks of the year because.
Yeah, there are certain times of the year where you have to be there, specifically, especially during the springtime, especially if you have cattle. Yeah. This is the time of the year where you're having to deal with the calves and everything.
Brock will be back around about SummerSlam to do a title defense.
If he remembers to get the hay in on time.
He'll be there.
And then he'll go away again because of harvest season.
That's a Texas joke. We always say that in the summer because that's when we have to do the hay.
He'll probably defend it at Survivor Series, maybe TLC, and then he'll be back for the Rumble next year.
Okay. Well, can we move on?
The build is on for Lesnar versus Reigns for the title next year. So that
let's move on and stop
looks
talking
like
about
that's where they're going.
the steroid farm boy.
All right. So we all got this one wrong because we had to pick people who were in it. But Naomi came back. Yay.
Yeah.
And beat Alexa Bliss, Natalya, Carmella, Becky Lynch, and Mickie James in a six-pack challenge to win the championship.
And I got that one wrong because I picked Natty.
And the only reason any of us got it wrong is because we had to pick people who we knew were already there.
Yeah, true.
So
okay. One quick question. This is kind of bugging me. What is Alexis Bliss's damage? Because I'm hearing a lot of, and again, this is rumor mill going on. I take it with a grain of salt. But I'm hearing a lot of people say that in the back, right after she got eliminated, I guess, that she went in the back and she started bitching out certain older talent that had been there for a while.
Yeah, the thing is, if she's causing problems in the locker room, they will punish her by taking the title off of her and putting it on somebody else.
Yeah, because I'm hearing that she when she got eliminated, she went to the back and started cussing out I don't know who. They just said the quote was older veteran talent in the back. And they told her to suck it up and stop crying. And she said something like, I don't have to suck it up and stop crying. I'm the fucking women's champion or whatever.
Yeah, hold on, let me see.
If that happened, I'd put it down to being over emotional. You've just lost your title at WrestleMania.
Well, I mean, there have been a lot of women that have lost the title at WrestleMania, but they've never gone into the back and started.
Yeah, but not many of them have only been in the business for like 2 years. Bliss is incredibly young.
And not many of them are, as I've heard, are dramatic dramas in the back. The way she is.
She's incredibly young, though. You've got to give her the chance.
How old is she? How old is she?
I'll tell you in a second.
Yeah, you can do that, but I know she's probably. I think she's only been wrestling for about two years or something.
If she's younger than 20 something, then I can give her the benefit of the doubt.
Hang on, I'm waiting for it to load. It's a little slow because I have this going on at the same time. She's 25.
Okay, she's 2 years younger than me. So if she's 25 years old, I can't say that she's not old enough not to have a fit, but she's not young enough not to have a fit. She's somewhere in the middle.
She hasn't learned locker room etiquette yet.
Yeah, true. She hasn't learned the proper procedures. So I can give her the benefit of the doubt on that one. I can kind of give her the benefit of the doubt.
When you think that she debuted in 2013, so she's only been wrestling she's been wrestling for less than 4 years at this point.
Yeah, I can give her the benefit of the doubt.
It takes time for them to learn what to do and what not to do.
Whereas someone like Natty's been wrestling for like 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch has probably been going for 15 years.
She's been wrestling for, what did she say when I seen that bio on Finn? I think it was like 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think she started when she was like 15.
Yeah, Finn actually trained her.
That's why. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
How old is Becky anyway?
She's my age?
I think so. Hold on. I'm curious now.
Sorry, guys. We get curious about certain divas' ages.
She's exactly 30 years old.
Exactly. Okay, cool.
Becky is 30 and debuted in 2002.
So she's been wrestling over 10 years, yeah.
Okay, can we move on? Because we need to get to this.
Yeah, let's just get to it. The agonizing truth.
Roman Reigns defeated The Undertaker. I did not call that.
None of us. I didn't either.
Tom did. Tom did.
I didn't either.
That's not what I want to. That's not what I want to talk about. However,
what we want to talk about is the fact that, unfortunately, you want me to say it, Robin?
He left his gloves, his trench coat, and his hat in the ring, and he's retired now.
And it is due to the fact that he has to go have complete hip replacement surgery.
Yeah, he can't do it anymore. It just.
Rob, I actually have to tell you something that I hope this. I know this is not going to make you feel better. But do you remember when he did the last Outlaw?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Basically, what he did is what an old outlaw would do in Texas.
Yeah.
It was his...
Okay, this is my thing. I was not upset when Roman won. I just kind of went, "Oh, okay, that was a thing."
Yeah.
All right then. It was not as unexpected or anger-inducing as it was when he lost to Brock Lesnar.
Well, that's because Brock Lesnar went around gloating.
And Roman has been... very, 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 very humble about the whole thing.
That's what I was fixing to say. Normally if it's a younger guy, speaking, from seeing the older guys beating.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always gloating about it. But for a guy but then again, this shows you how Roman kind of already knew how to, he's in the Anoa'i family, he's used to this kind of thing. But it shows you how humbling it is to him. And even he even told Coach Jonathan Coachman on ESPN after the match, he said it felt like a loss. To him, It felt like a loss. Because he's not happy about having to do this. This was not easy for him.
I just want to say something. So all you people complaining, okay, for everybody out there on the internet, and I still think internet and professional wrestling is the worst combination of anything.
Yeah.
So all you guys complaining, oh, Roman Reigns won, he retired The Undertaker, he's such a loser, blah, 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 right? Taker picked Roman to do this. So stop complaining.
Picked Roman to do this.
So stop. Please, guys, just stop. It is the way it is.
And I'm just going to put this out there to back it up. Originally, it was supposed to have been John Cena. And I'm going to say this because, honestly, I'm glad it was not. Number one, Cena's already had his time with Taker. And number two, we never would have heard the end of it.
No, I retired The Undertaker
as Roman. And number three, I'm saying the fact that Roman Reigns has handled this so humbly and did not act like a certain Neanderthal steroid moron.
Yeah.
I hold Roman Reigns in the highest form of respect. And yes, I don't care what anybody on the internet says. I'm with Robin. If you're going to boo him, if you're going to sit there and call him a loser, screw you. Because Roman Reigns has my respect as the fact that he went into this knowing that he had to end a man's career, even though he did not want to do it. He went in doing what he had to do, and he did it with grace, he did it with complexity, and he did it with respect.
And this speaks to Taker. This speaks to Taker's toughness at 52 years old, wrestling for 30 some odd years. 5 spears and 4 Superman punches it took.
Yeah, and
Roman Reigns. There, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just letting you go.
We're the ones doing all the talking. And the fact that Roman hesitated at that last second to actually end it when he knew it was coming The last time I saw some kind of hesitation like that was when Shawn Michaels sweet chin music Ric Flair.
And when Taker tombstone Shawn.
And when Taker tombstone Shawn at WrestleMania 26.
Dude, they have Thank You Taker shirts on WWE.
Yeah, they the fact of the matter is, guys, this match was not about. This was not the Brock Lesnar match we saw back at WrestleMania 30. This was not about ego. This was about a young man who had a very tough decision to make. It was either do what he was told or head out the door. And with as much humility, as much respect, and as much character as he could, Roman Reigns did one of the hardest things any wrestler has to do.
I found what I was looking for. I'm on Twitter, and this is from Roman himself via his Twitter account. I did what I had to do at #WrestleMania, but it doesn't change the fact that man held the yard down for years. For that, #Thank You Taker, #respect. And that's coming from the guy that retired him.
This is again why I'm saying I'm glad it was Roman and I'm glad it wasn't Cena. If this had been Cena, think about it. What would have been going around? What would he have been saying in that ring that
on
Roman
SmackDown
hasn't said?
All Roman said was that it's his yard now, and also he laid his trench coat, hat, and gloves in the ring, and they didn't take it out of the ring until they had to.
Yeah,
it was there all night,
and
they didn't. And they only took it out because they had to take the ring down.
And also, too, a lot of people don't know this. They might know it now, but they didn't at the time. After WrestleMania 30, Paul called TMZ. Okay? TMZ surrounded the arena as Brock Lesnar was walking out, and he was gloating on TMZ and on ESPN the next morning about beating Taker. Roman Reigns, and I've seen the pictures, people. Roman Reigns went to the back, sat down in a chair, and cried for 15 minutes. Could not bring himself to speak for 15 minutes because he was so devastated that he had to do the one thing he never thought he'd have to do in his career.
Yeah, I'm trying to find more tweets from wrestlers to see, because I've read some of them.
The hardest thing in the world. And because I've seen Shawn do it, and I've seen Taker do it, and now I've seen Roman do it. Adam was forced, but still, the hardest thing in the world for a wrestler to do is retire another wrestler.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is what I want to say about it. He's retired. It sucks. It really sucks.
It does.
But I'm glad it wasn't like Edge, where he retired because he had no choice but to.
I'm thankful.
I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad he didn't let it get to the point where
it was a have to.
I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice anymore. I have to do it.
I am also thankful that it was. He decided to do it in a way that fitted him. He found somebody, and I know he'd probably been searching for a long time. He found somebody that could take his yard and protect it. Yeah. He found that in Roman Reigns. Now there's only one other option. And if this would have happened, I would have honestly, I wouldn't have been as surprised. I would have been just like Robin. If it had been, and they've already had their match, they had their match in the past, honestly, I believe if there would have been somebody else other than Roman Reigns, I think it would have been Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
Because Dean Ambrose would have been another good choice, because I believe that Dean Ambrose also would have been, he probably would have been even more humbled than Roman is right now. Yeah. But I seriously believe that out of the two of them, that would have been my other pick.
Honestly, though, so yeah, all you people on the fucking internet that are hating on Roman Reigns. Taker picked him, okay? Get the fuck over it.
Try to understand that while you guys can boo him, whatever, the man had to do one of the hardest things anyone in the world has ever had to do. It's not easy for everybody thinks, oh, well, it's so easy for somebody to retire. It's not. I've seen football players cry when they've had to retire. I've seen wrestlers cry I saw Edge break down, literally have a meltdown in the middle of the ring almost 4 years ago from having to give up his dream.
Yeah.
And that was being forced to give up his dream. How hard do you think it is for a guy in his 30s to look at a man who he's probably idolized his entire life, and there's no doubt about it, considering who Roman's family is. There's no doubt about it. Roman watched Taker growing up. Do you think it's easy for anybody to retire their idol?
Hell, Taker, when they'd be in wherever it was that Yokozuna lived, does anybody know? Florida, I'm assuming?
I think so, yeah. I think it was like California.
When Yoko was alive and he was wrestling with WWE, everybody used to go to his house and they'd have his barbecue so chances are Roman probably met him at some point.
There's a big chance. And considering that he did grow up with Rikishi.
Yeah.
He grew up with Rikishi. His dad was a wild Samoan.
Yeah.
There's a very big chance that Roman did meet Taker, either, like you said, at a barbecue or backstage.
Yeah, I'm just going to read off some of the tweets from other wrestlers that I've... Seth Rollins said, I've watched you for my entire life and been in awe for all of it. For all you've given to us, thank you, Taker. All right.
He's the only one that never faced him.
So, yeah. What else is there? Crap. 8 years ago yesterday, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, WrestleMania 25. When was that? 3 hours ago. Wow, that was 8 years ago already?
Yeah, that was in Houston.
Yeah, all right. There was one that Dana Warrior posted. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, there's a picture of Taker. Like, I just found it. There's a picture of Taker, and then there's a picture of Roman sitting in the chair.
Hang on.
Okay, this is funny.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Michelle McCool posted a picture of Kaya, and this is funny. Partied like a rock star, and then Daddy's music hit. She felt like she actually fell asleep.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that.
Kaya actually fell asleep.
Hold on just 1 second. There's something from Bret Hart I want to read. That was on his.
Tom, are you still with us here? Or are you just letting us go? Here?
I'm just letting you. I'm just letting you go. I'm reading the latest news. Apparently, WWE released Simon Gotch this morning.
Yeah, I heard that.
And
which is annoying because I really like him.
This is what James Ellsworth said, and he's been in the ring with Taker one time.
Yeah,
Thank you, Taker, for all the. Thank you, Taker, for all the incredible years of entertainment. Truly one of a kind.
Okay, this is what Bret Hart had to say, and my internet's a little slow, so it's gonna take it a minute to pull up. There we go. Come on, hurry up. I just blinked out on me. Okay, I think I can read it from the back. I want to this is from Bret Hart, and it was Monday at 6:18 p.m. It says, I want to congratulate my closest friend, The Undertaker, on a great career. I salute you for being a great leader, a phenomenal worker, and WWE's all-time greatest warhorse. I cherish my memories working together in the ring, and I'll never forget how you had my back so many times over so many years. As a fan, I'll miss you. Thank you for every... And I have to pull up the rest of it, because it's a long thing. So give me a minute here, guys. I think it was saying thank you for everything you've done, I think.
Oh, Matt Hardy was like the most magical being in the history of our industry. Thank you, Taker.
Okay, let me reread Brett's thing. Again, this was Monday at 6:18. I want to congratulate my close friend, The Undertaker, on a great career. I salute you for being a great leader, a phenomenal worker, and WWE's all-time greatest warhorse. I cherish my memories working together in the ring, and I'll never forget how you had my back so many times over so many years. As a fan, I'll miss you. Thank you for everything. You are as iconic gets. Hashtag thank you, Taker. And the picture is actually SummerSlam, the year that Brett faced him.
97.
Yeah, 1997.
Okay. Yeah, so basically little Kaya, which I actually saw her in the crowd, didn't know it was her at the time and felt really stupid. She was awake for the whole thing. By the time Daddy came out, she was sleeping.
Here's and this is somebody that commented on Brett's post. He said, I'll always remember the moment you guys did where he broke the sharpshooter and then you tried again, but wrapped around a ring post.
Yeah, I have that match actually. But yeah, it's like, it sucks that it happened. I think part of it too was just like we knew it was coming eventually.
Yeah, I don't know for sure if I'm
I found Sasha Banks. Thank you, Taker.
I'm seeing if
I'm going through my phone.
I know he hasn't said anything, but I'm gonna look anyway.
Oh.
I'm gonna see if.
And Tom, that Undertaker Twitter thingamabobber is actually legit.
Yeah, it is.
Because he's using it more now. Because he can.
I can't remember what it was. I'm gonna.
Okay, I thought. Oh yeah, he did say something. Well, wasn't exactly what I was looking for. It wasn't exactly what I thought he was gonna say, but then again, he always says this stuff. This is just a click from something Smith Hart said. The next takeaway I noticed is now Bray Wyatt is 0-4 at the show of shows. Hold on a second, guys. That was the hubby. Sorry. The next thing takeaway I noticed is now Bray Wyatt is 0-4 at the show of shows. It's simply not enough to be in matches with future legends. If Bray is to progress to be the next star of this generation, he needs to get the big win on the big show. Taker didn't become the Phenom by losing his first 4 matches at WrestleMania.
Dude! Bailey didn't even say anything. She just put the hashtag there.
Yeah, that was just a click from what he said. Not many. He's Smith's going through a lot of issues right now, so I can't really.
Triple H
expect him to say much.
Too. It's basically Triple H said thank you for the memories, the entertainment, and your friendship, which I don't think they're friends anymore. But all right, we gotta let Tom jump in here, man.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to go on and do it the way you guys want. But yeah,
I know. But do you want to say anything about it?
Well, it was gonna happen eventually. Wasn't sure I was ready for it when it happened.
I cried. I won't lie.
I think I was more in shock. I didn't know what to think. Let's see.
It was as good a match as we could expect. I hope we get him in the Hall of Fame next year. I really do.
Okay, and to all you people saying that, he should have retired after Brock Lesnar beat the streak. Fuck you.
Yeah.
He's not gonna go out like that.
I was seeing if there was something. I read something somewhere on somebody's Facebook. Might have been Adams. Hang on.
It was a really good. It was old school and traditional. The way that the way that he sort of left his hat, his coat, and his gloves in the ring.
It's an old Texas It's an old outlaw thing that they used to do back in the outlaw days.
Yeah. And
when the gunslingers would
I
finish up.
certainly hope we get to see him go in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Because
they're already talking about it.
He has to headline next year, surely.
I'm gonna put him headlining next year.
Yeah.
Well, let's see it. Let's see it get announced, because that's what we want.
And to all you guys who are saying he shouldn't retire, he was wrestling when he was 19 years old.
18.
19. 1984.
Yeah, that was 18.
Since 1984, guys. So.
Oh, that's right. Because he was at the same college my dad was at in 82.
Yeah, he was in WCW. And would you believe me if I told you that WCW told him he wasn't gonna make it?
They told WCW told several people they wouldn't make it. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mick Foley.
Oh my God, Jerry, that is so awesome.
But yeah, in short, yeah, we saw the last match of possibly one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, and I know he's never gonna see this. I don't care. Thank you, Taker, for everything, and I hope I get to New Orleans next year.
But
yeah.
I think at this point, that's what we've got for WrestleMania. In terms of the Monday Night Raw and the SmackDown,
I didn't see Raw.
I'll brief the two of them then. We got a couple of call-ups from NXT.
Yeah,
who got called out?
The Revival came out on Raw.
Yeah.
The who?
The Revival.
Somebody's gonna have to enlighten me.
Former NXT Tag Champs.
Okay. Don't know who that is, but okay, cool.
If you don't watch NXT, you're not going to.
I can't watch wrestling, period. So,
for those of you who like, why don't you watch NXT? Blah blah blah. I find I watch NXT, I scrutinize them too much. Like I watch them do moves and I go, oh, that's that person's move. They shouldn't be doing that, and that's not fair to them. So I just don't. I scrutinize them too much.
We also got Goldberg effectively retiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw the debut of Kurt Angle as the Raw general manager.
That was the stupidest idea yet.
And the return of Finn.
He's been SmackDown general manager before. Shut up. Maybe he can fix Raw.
And the return from injury of Finn Balor.
Okay. Yay!
Ah!
Oh yeah, and then by cheap knockoff, I meant now Taker's gone. We get stuck with Bray Wyatt, who's effectively a cheap knockoff of him.
Yeah.
As for SmackDown,
Ty Dillinger.
Ty Dillinger debuted, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh yeah, Shinsuke.
What?
That was Shinsuke. You don't know who Shinsuke Nakamura is?
Not a clue.
Educate yourself.
Former NXT champion.
Do you not have the network?
No, I don't.
You should.
She doesn't even have cable, dude.
I've got you don't need it in the US. You don't need cable in the US on the network.
I think I know who you're talking about now.
No.
Yeah.
No, I mean she doesn't have cable, so she can't even watch Raw and SmackDown.
Nope.
I don't watch Raw and SmackDown. You can get clips on. You get enough clips on you can get clips for it on YouTube, and I watch the pay-per-views on the network.
And I want to say that Roman cut a 5-word promo.
Yeah.
Well, we can only get local.
He was like, the segment itself was like 10 minutes long, and like literally 9 minutes and 55 seconds of it was him not being able to get a word in.
an aggressive crowd an aggressive crowd with chants such as "Go away, Roman sucks," "Fuck you, Roman," "We don't like you," "Undertaker," and then Roman Reigns.
Go to hell.
Roman Reigns gets the microphone up to his mouth and says, "This is my yard now," drops the mic and walks out.
To tremendous boos.
Yeah. But yep, next week on Raw and I think on SmackDown as well, we're getting the Superstar Shake-Up, which was announced by Vince McMahon, which sounds very much like it is a randomized draft.
So
which is awesome.
So basically, Superstar Shake-Up, which is a fancy way of saying, okay, everybody's getting drafted.
And they've had clips on YouTube of all the superstars unsure of where they're going to be, whether they're going to still be on the same brand. Bayley and Sasha Banks talking about losing each other, and you know.
I guess that would be kind of nerve-wracking. You get used to being in a certain place, and then now.
But that's
this is kind of a little bit off topic, but I was scrolling through Twitter looking for something, and it just came to my attention that Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Raymond X Rowe might be coming to Ring of Honor.
Oh, cool. But yeah, so we have that, and everybody's worried about being separated from their friends and their family, and.
So next week we will find out. Who gets moved to what brand and how things go. We don't know whether it's going to be a case of General Manager A and General Manager B making deals, or whether it's going to be like the drafts used to be, which was a Raw guy versus a SmackDown guy, and the winner gets a randomized pick from the other roster. They haven't said how it's going to be done. They haven't announced that at the point of recording, but. I hope it's a quote unquote random draw where Raw will get a pick and it'll just be sort of John Cena, you know, or whatever, you know.
Yeah, and I just want to say like one more thing about. Oh, I forgot what it was. Never mind. I was going to say something with the Taker thing. Oh yeah, they've said more about it on Twitter than they have on television. And now the fans are pissed off because he's not getting a big fancy farewell like Ric Flair did.
I would have liked to see that, but we'll get that at the Hall of Fame. So I think if it's cool with you guys, we can wrap up.
Yeah, that's cool. Deanna?
We can wrap up so you two can disappear into Twitter and Instagram looking for pictures of Undertaker or something.
Yeah.
I'm winding you up. Anyway, so yeah, do you want to run down your stuff? Because you're hosting, so I don't need to take over.
I'm Taker Soul Girl. You can find me on Fanfiction, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I'll put all my links in the description, so go check me out. Read my fanfiction because it's apparently awesome.
It is. See if you can notice the character that I write appear occasionally.
Yeah. Because basically, I'll explain this now. I write Angel, Taker, Leah, most of the main characters. I get Deanna to do. Deanna mostly does Kirsty because I'm still trying to.
And I get to do heels.
Tom does the heel stuff because I'm not good at it. I get Deanna to do the emotional kind of.
I write Triple H a lot, don't I?
Yeah. And Tom has a character that makes cameos every now and then. So, yeah.
He's essentially Dream World version of me. So you know. Anyway.
So yeah, I do get help with it. So, but read it anyway because everybody says it's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't.
I too am on fanfiction under the name Tom Williams 1990, which is also my Twitter name. So you're more than welcome to pop in there. At the moment, I'm working on a couple of strange little crossover stories. The Hadrian Black series, which is one of my most popular things. And yeah, I'd love to see you guys pop up because I'm about to write the Royal Rumble, and I don't know I'm about to write the Royal Rumble, and the Royal Rumble is hard to do. So, yeah.
Hey, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah, I think my Royal Rumble's going to have 40 competitors again because I couldn't.
So that's that.
I couldn't leave anyone out. Yeah, and we've also if you follow me on Twitter, I will talk to you more than likely.
Yeah. And I'll put all his stuff down in the thingy so that you guys can get to it.
And finally, our
Well, you guys can find me on fanfiction at Dean's Country Angel. I have some stories on there. I think I have like 3 wrestling stories and a couple of other things on there. You can find me on Twitter at Supernatural Country, which, yeah, that's just a different one. I don't get on Twitter very much because I don't really get on there and rant anymore like I used to. Kind of had to chill out on that. You guys can find me on Facebook at I can't remember my Facebook. Oh, Dallas Cowboys 1989. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys.
And unfortunately, she can't get into her YouTube anymore. So
no, I can't get on YouTube anymore.
That's why we're doing it through mine.
I might make a new YouTube channel. You never know. I might make a new one here in the next, couple of months. You never know.
I need to get a computer. Alright, guys. I think we'll be back for payback predictions and post thing, but
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, more than likely.
All I know is we're gonna do these, I guess, as much as we can, and so you'll get regular uploads from me anyway, because they're going through mine. So yay!
I can't make videos anymore, so.
What?
I can't make videos anymore.
No. So yay on that. All right,
Anyway,
bye guys.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Later.